So good. Sugar was fine.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to tell you 12 things to help with your anxiety. Let's get straight into it. So from the last video, I did have a bit of a down day. It did take a little bit of a toll on me getting back into the history of what happened to me and stuff. I did have a panic attack that I hadn't had in 2+ years. So it did bring back a lot of memories. I'm fine now, don't worry, I'm good. Yeah, I think it was just being very vulnerable and putting out to the internet and all that stuff like that. It was tough for me, but I'm doing it to spread awareness. If it means I have a panic attack and it helps someone, even just one person, then that's all worth it. And if you haven't seen it, I'll link it up here to my story, or up here, I never remember which side. I'll link it up there and in the description below to my story, and it tells you everything that I went through and all the stuff that happened to me. Yes. So in this video, I've written down 12 things that helps me overcome my anxiety and overall just manage it. And I'm going to share it with you guys. It's not just one thing fits and works. It's definitely a combination of all of it. Personally, I feel like I suffered with anxiety mainly, and then depression is sort of like latched onto it. And then when the anxiety went, the depression went with it. This is what helps me, and I'm hoping that it will help you too. So starting off with the first thing I wrote down is there's a guy called Barry McDonough. His accent, first of all, he's Irish. That's my guy. He suffered from anxiety. He's got a book, he's got an app, he's got many things. It's called, the book is called KDAY, and the link in the description below. It is so helpful, but just to summarize, I would say definitely check that out. Buy it, download the audiobook for free or whatever. It's definitely worth it. I actually gave my book to a friend of mine 3 years ago, and I haven't got it back. Thankfully, I don't need it, and I hope it is helping them a lot. It mainly spoke about with your anxiety. Usually when you feel that anxiety, you want to suppress it, you want to keep it in, you want to run away from it. This guy, he was saying do the opposite. Run at it. Dare it. That's why it's called dare. It's like dare it. Do your worst. Tell it, like, feel like you're gonna throw up. I dare you. Make me throw up. If you feel like you're gonna faint, dare me. Make me faint. Like, he was like telling you to go towards it rather than running away from it. And it's sort of like, it sort of made the anxiety like, oh, this guy's fighting back. I'm not used to this. I'm gonna hide now because I don't know how to deal with this. And it's sort of, it did work for me. It did work for me. It is very tough to learn and carry on doing, but once you master it and once you carry on doing it and learning it and everything, it is a game changer. Honestly, it is a game changer. Another thing that did help me a lot is this thing called Rescue Remedy. So the Rescue Remedy, I actually found this. This is out of date now. It's very old. I found it in my drawer when I was clearing out my room. When you spray that, it has some stuff in it. I don't know exactly what it has in it, but it does really help you calm down. It did help a little bit. It's good for like calming you down with a little bit of nerves. Another thing that I definitely would suggest is going to therapy. It is okay to go to therapy. I know you might be thinking, oh, I can't go to therapy because this reason, that reason, this reason. You might not be able to afford it. That's another reason. I'd say some of the numbers that I'll leave them here as well. Some of the numbers that I put in the last video, they would definitely help. They might not be as good as a therapist, but I'm sure they're free and they will listen and they will help you. And sometimes all you need is just someone to listen. Therapists, I'll share with you what they told me to do. So they told me that one of the things with anxiety, personally for me, was actually going to the place and thinking like, oh, what they're gonna do when I get there, when I do this, when I turn up, all this. And he was like, instead of thinking when you get there, think about what it's like in the middle. Because usually it's the thinking about getting there that is the worst part. Whereas when you're in the middle, it's like you're calm, you're fine. Because so this Saturday, after I just finished doing that video, I was having my panic attack before I got to work. I was awful. I was thinking about not even going in. But then it was literally as soon as I stepped in the door, I was fine. I was like, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't bad at all. So if you, instead of thinking about the beginning, think about the middle and how the middle is, and how the middle is fine. Just the middle bit. Even the end. The middle or the end. Don't think about the beginning, the middle or the end, because they're both the fine bits. He also told me to, whenever I wake up, go in front of the mirror and just do a really silly dance it breaks you from the norm, standing and being nervous and everything. So like if you do like a silly dance, I don't care that I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you guys. So do like a little silly dance in front of the, like twerk in front of the bloody mirror, whatever you want. That will break you from the norm. It'll make you feel silly. It'll make you laugh, make you smile, and that will break you from what is stuck in like the train tracks of your head and veer off into a funny lane. So that was really good. He also did some visualizations with me and everything, but I don't really remember that. But definitely, if you can afford it and you do have the time, definitely go to therapy. It is so helpful and it is good, and yeah, it is worth it, trust me. And no one's going to think any different of you. No one's going to think any different of you. If anything, they'll be jealous. They want to go to therapy themselves and better themselves. Another key thing is definitely exercise. Exercising releases endorphins, dopamine, all the happy feel-good hormones. It gets your blood flowing. Get out in the sun as well. Your vitamin D, that's another releases happy hormones and stuff. I was feeling so like down and depressed and everything a couple months ago. Then I started my 30 days and I felt so good. I felt so energized. I was just lifted up. I was happy, and I've carried on going to the gym, and every single time I go to the gym I'm like full of energy. I'm happy. Like, exercise is definitely key. It's so good for you. It's so good for you. Definitely at least 20-minute walk a day. 20 minutes. That's it. If you can't even do 20 minutes, do 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of jogging on the spot, 1 minute of sprints on the spot, and then every single day increase it. Like, let's do 1 minute of jogging one day, next day 2 minutes of jogging, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, until you get to 30 days and it's half an hour of jogging, and you'll feel like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then you can do 30 minutes each day and you'll feel so much better for yourself, trust me. Give it a go for 30 days, do a 30-day challenge and you'll feel so much better. If you don't feel good after doing a 30-day challenge, come back to this video and dislike it. So number 5 and 6 go hand in hand with each other, kind of. They go hand in hand. It is fixing up your diet. If you're eating all these fast foods, sweets, just fatty foods and just bad foods in general, that can really take a toll on your body, because your body can change your mental state. The food you take can change your mental state as well. If you're eating all these groggy, bad foods, what do you think it does to your body? It makes your body groggy and bad, and your head, coincidentally, is part of your body. It will do the same thing. It won't give you the right nutrients you need for your brain and all this stuff. And yeah, and then number 6 was stop drinking caffeine. Because personally for me, with my anxiety, it would make your heart beat super fast. Your brain would be thinking 10 different thoughts a second. And then if you have caffeine, it's going to go even faster, or even your heart would just be beating faster because of the caffeine. You'll think, oh, I'm having a panic attack. My heart's beating really fast. I must be having a panic attack. It's just your caffeine making your heart beat, but then it's making your head think faster. So therefore, like, stop having caffeine. Personally, for me, my anxiety was making my head work overdrive anyway. It was giving me too much energy. I didn't actually need caffeine. Thankfully, I wasn't actually drinking any caffeine at the time. I feel like the way I'm made, I have a lot of energy anyway. I just have too much energy in general, so I don't actually need caffeine personally. But if you are having caffeine, I would say definitely stop having it for a few days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, see how you feel. That might help you. Also, if you're not drinking, I haven't added this on the list, but I should. Drink water, a lot of water. I can't remember what the exact amount is a day. I think it's drink at least 2 liters a day. I think it's way more than 2 liters, but definitely drink 2 liters a day. Water is so good for you. I don't even need to explain all the benefits of drinking water, but it is so good for you. Definitely drink 2 liters a day for a week, for a month, however long you want to do it. See if that makes a difference. Number 7 is meditation. I was never good at this. I'm not very good at meditating, but definitely try meditating. It's very good for your mind. It's very good to be in the moment, which I feel like anxiety is all thinking about the future and past experiences that were not very good, and you're thinking, oh, it's going to happen in the future, or this thing that's never happened will happen in the future. Whereas if you meditate, bring yourself to the present, it will bring you to the present and help you have a clearer mind. But definitely meditation will help drastically if you can do it properly. Don't worry if you can't get it on the first try, second try, 10th try, 30th try. It is a tough skill to learn. I still haven't mastered it yet, but it is very good for you. Trust me, it's very good. Number 8 is having a hobby that makes you smile, makes you laugh, it brings you joy. It's just a hobby that brings you joy will help so much. Whether it's painting, either by yourself, with a friend, with a family member, just something that brings you joy will help so much. And number 9, it sounds very simple. It is just breathing. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I am breathing right now, but scientifically proven, if you are feeling anxious or nervous or anything, if you just take in a deep breath, hold it, and then breathe out, that resets your breathing. It makes you feel calmer. It sends a signal to your brain that you are relaxed, because you're not doing this fast breathing like you're doing your fight and flight response. It sort of like resets your fight and flight response and makes you calmer. Now, that does help. It does. Honestly, the amount of times I've been like so nervous, super nervous, and I'm like, I can't do this, and I went, and let's say I'm at like an 8. This is from like the last video. I was like an 8 of my anxiety scale. That'll bring me down to, if it works so good, down to maybe a 4. Like, it will half it. If anything, it will take me from an 8 to a 7. I know it's just 1, but it's better than staying at an 8. So definitely try that next time you're feeling anxious. It might help. Another one is positive thinking. Now, I know when you're in these anxiety states, it's so hard to flip that negative thought to a positive thought, but just try it. Force yourself to do it. Let's say you're thinking in your head, oh, I'm so scared, I'm feeling nervous. Scientifically, feeling nervous and feeling excited are the exact same responses. It's just your perception that is different. I'm nervous to go on that ride. I'm so scared to go on that ride. Whereas there's another person next to you who's like, oh, I'm so excited to go on that ride. Their minds in their bodies, it's all the exact same hormones. You're both sweating, your heart is racing. The only difference is your perception, the way it's making you feel in your head. If you literally say to yourself in your head, or even out loud would be better, is I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm so excited. The amount of times that has helped me when I'm feeling so nervous, I go, I'm really excited. I'm so excited for this. It changes your perspective. It changes your like nervous heartbeat to an excited heartbeat, and you're like, oh my god, I really want to do this now. I'm excited. Let's go. Trust me, that has helped me so much. I still use it today, and it's one of the things that I've taken with me for so long. I love that one. It's so cool. It's just the way it's like psychological and science. It's the exact same response, just your perception. It changes everything in that situation. Number 11 is very simple and also scientifically proven. Is just smiling. Smiling can change your mood. Even if you're crying, you're sad, if you just smile, it changes I don't know if it releases hormones or something, but it changes something in your head. It makes your brain think that you're happy because you're smiling, and it does change that feeling inside as well. It does help so much. Surprisingly, it does help so much. So force yourself to smile next time you're feeling nervous or sad. I'm hoping it will change even just a little bit. A little bit would help. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be drastic. Don't be sad because it hasn't changed everything. Even if it helps just the smallest bit, it's worth it, trust me. Number 12, something that has helped me actually quite a lot. I'm surprised. Just motivational quotes and stuff like that. I love motivational stuff. I love motivational quotes. I still like read quotes and have motivational TikToks, and I watch motivational YouTube videos. One of my favorite quotes is the Sylvester Stallone one in Rocky. I can't remember exactly how it goes.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
That is my favorite ever quote, I think. But I used to put quotes on the backgrounds on my phone, so every time I open up my phone, I would see that, and it just helped me a lot. Yeah, lastly, when you feel like you're coming out of your anxiety state, what I would say is, don't like relax a little and pull back the train. I would say push, and push. Make that snowball turn into a big fuck off boulder going downhill. That's it, snowball it. Snowball that anxiety. Fuck that anxiety up. Say you're coming out of it and you like relax a little. You can relax a little bit, but what I would say is definitely keep pushing it and 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 pushing it. Bless me. And you could get rid of this fucking anxiety altogether. That's so personally with my story. I don't think I mentioned it in the other one, but when I was slowly getting out of it. When I was getting out of the house, pushing myself further and further out the house, met up with friends, that's another step. Then went back to school just to see more people, that's another step. Performing in front of them, that's another step. Actually performing in front of people I didn't know, that's another step. Going to college with a bunch of strangers, that's another step. Then performing in front of all these strangers, that's another, and then more strangers in the whole bloody like arena sort of concert thing, that's another huge step. And then got a job in retail, talking to strangers every day, that's another step. And I just kept pushing myself further and further and further and further to where I'm now sharing my story, and I'm pushing myself each and every day to get better. Fuck this anxiety, to destroy it altogether. And I know you can as well. You can take some of these steps from what I did, try them out, Google another video that might have some other steps that will help you out. If these didn't help you, just do what works for you. Everything that I've written on here is something that has worked for me, and I wanted to share it with you guys because there might be something on there that you haven't thought about trying that could help you in the most amazing way possible. But if I can help at least one person get even the littlest bit better, that would mean the world to me, honestly. If you want to comment what helps for you later on when you try them, or if you have any other tips down below, leave them for other people. Like, leave what helps for you down below in the comments. If you do like this video, it will put it more into the algorithm and share it with more people. Share this with your friends, with your family. They might know someone who's struggling with anxiety that you don't know, and they can share it with them. That might help them. Just spread this around. I'm all about helping everyone, and I hope you guys are like that too, and you want to help everyone around you, help your fellow mental health people. I don't really know what to say about that. It sounds like a group of Avengers. Stay good, stay happy, stay smiley, and I wish you the best. Love all around. So wet. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Yeah.
Two most powerful words in the human language, two most powerful words in the human psychology is I am, and whatever you put next. How many times a day does someone say, how are you? I'm gonna say between 5 to 50 times a day. Fair call? And what do most people say?
I'm good.
Better than dead. Wow. When people say, how are you, Kerwin, what's my first response?
I am unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable, mate.
You can pick and choose any that you want, but all I'd suggest is everything should be created in the present tense, not in the I will or I want. It is I am.